6 to 7 years ago, we are very suffer about it. But now, honestly, everybody, they are enjoying the light.
We are suffering on total hardship on light, especially people that are having businesses here.
President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
May 29, 2015, an eagle landed at the Eagle Square, strategically situated at the Three-Arms Zone in the heart of the Federal Capital Territory. The mood was of fresh breath, the swearing-in ceremony of President Muhammadu Buhari and Yemi Osinbajo. After minutes of an acceptance speech, a three-point agenda was unfolded. Security, fighting corruption, as well as revamping the economy were the central focus. Indeed, a powerful speech which realization was anchored obviously on a stable power supply. That's if the economy must truly be revamped. Resustaining the power sector demands a committed classification, one of a national emergency. It's been 7 years, a period majority of the uninitiated will describe as long and tortuous in the desire to have the bulbs constantly on, despite federal government's dogged steps adopting the brick-by-brick approach to light up the nation.
With all the resources that have been injected, it's like we're throwing water in the basket. It has not really given us the much desired result. The distribution company have not demonstrated the capacity and wherewithal to be able to fix as little problem as we may imagine. And we are having a great jump. The low demand capacity of the nation is more than 10,000 megawatts. Even when we do 6,000 megawatts, there's institutionally designed load rejection. And so, to us, it's grinding the economy to a halt, the way we are drifting. So we just have to, in national interest, go back to the drawing table.
A long list of policies and executive approvals given to match words with action. The Power Sector Recovery Program is a special purpose vehicle for the implementation of policies and programs to ensure financial viability, improve electricity supply, reliability, and strengthen the sector's institutional framework, as well as boost investors' confidence. The present administration has sustained interventions in the sector, impacting lives and boosting socio-economic activities.
We need to expand the network to be able to connect so many places. If you take the 330, that place will be a hub for other expansions. So this is the work we need to be doing, is the work that we have not been doing on the grid for a very long time. It is now that the grid is receiving attention, and it is that attention that has taken us to the relative stability we are seeing.
Nigeria is advancing, Nigeria is approaching industrialization, and there can't be industrialization without power. I assure you that President Muhammadu Buhari's determination to give us light, and if the momentum continues, we'll have abundant electricity and power, because even the small and middle scale industries will grow because they need power. The tailor, the shoemaker, the pepper blender, the vulcanizer, they all need power, and we are assuring you that this will be a thing. Power failure, absence of power will be a thing of the past in a short while.
From the north to south, east to west, life-changing stories of power projects executed by the Buhari administration in communities abound. Perhaps the story of a north-central enclave, Lafia, the Nassau state capital, which for decades grappled with epileptic power supply, but now enjoys longer hours of supply, with businesses and other economic activities springing up as a result of a new 330 kV power substation could serve as a convincing testimony of government's commitment to this cause.
This is the best moment we have in our life in Lafia as far as electricity is concerned. For the past 20 years, we've never had it so good like we're having here. I have light for almost a week. No issue of interrupted power supply. Constant power supply is in Lafia. And kudos to the government for doing a wonderful job as per electricity in Lafia.
Wow, I can say everything is okay now. I'm so happy about the new changes in Lafia town. As of last year, we are not enjoying light. Many people locate down to Poly area, Shabo, due to the light issue. But just within a month, everything has totally changed.
It is an improvement. It's really helping because we are not spending money on fuel as we used to. That was then. Then we do spend a lot of money to fuel our gen, and at the end of the day, we don't actually gain much from the spending. But with the coming of this light now, with the availability of light now in the streets here, we are able to spend less and gain more.
With contract for its construction awarded in 2016 in response to the plight of Lafia residents and environs, the 330 kV power substation built in Akuba, a suburb of Lafia, is one of the National Integrated Power Projects (NIPP) implemented by the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, and in decades of power electricity supply through the old 132 kV line from Apo in Abuja. The 330 kV double circuits transmission line from Ikot, Ekpene and route Enugu to Makurdi connects the substation and passes through Jos to Gombe. It is expected to backfeed Abuja and parts of Plateau State. Energizing and its eventual inauguration by President Muhammadu Buhari fulfilled a presidential promise made to the people of Nasarawa State.
Now we don't have any problem of light. Life is everywhere now. They can take it now like 1 hour, before 2 hours, then we bring it back. And the barbers and the rest of the people, they are enjoying the light. The light is all over the places.
Honestly, everybody, they are enjoying the light, especially small skills like welding and salon and so any small industries, they are enjoying it very well. Especially like my Angwa, Tidungwandara, especially that grinding machine self, we are making money with it. So now I know that if the lights turn like, so people they have many work to do or small job to do.
The improved electricity supply is boosting our businesses. We will continue to support government.
It will help my business because sometimes like olden time, like last year, the light is not too stable. That I can make my things not too cold. Customer come touch it, they will say you know cold, they will go. But now everything is cheap 24 hours, so increase the amount of my selling.
With this electricity, we can do what we want. Before my system is not picking electricity, but now all the systems are picking it. So I don't think whether there is problem again. So we appreciate.
We really appreciate the federal government for the power supply in the state. In those days, we meant to understand that generator is the main source of power supply in Nasarawa State. But now, as you can see, we really have power supply now. Now, generator indeed is standby, while we have a real power supply in the state.
For the people of Jigawa State, the completion of abandoned Gagarawa substation by the Buhari administration is another evidence of the commitment of the federal government in fixing infrastructure to stimulate economic growth and prosperity of the country. 6 local government areas are benefiting from the substation abandoned for more than 20 years.
6 local governments and an industrial area sited around Gagarawa. We are expecting to have about 50 industries as time goes on because of the power availability now. And I really have to commend President Muhammad Buhari for continuing the job that he inherited. This is really commendable and it will help alleviate poverty around here. The availability of light is supporting economy, as you all know. And we will soon start building the industrial zone here, where industries will come and use common facilities, and that will help boost economic activities around here.
The Akure 330 kV substation is also among projects constructed by the Buhari administration to address poor power supply in the southwest states of Ondo and Ekiti. Work on the substation is completed with stringing of transmission line from Ihubbo in Edo State and Osun State in progress, expected to be completed and energized this year. The coming on stream of the new 330 kV substation in Akure will boost electricity supply in Ondo and Ekiti states, which receive supply through the old 132 kV substation.
This station is energized. Instead of the supply to Akure coming all the way from Osogbo to Akure, and it is the one that comes to Akure that equally goes to Ekiti. So if this station is energized, it is going to be on 330. So we now have source of power to Akure directly from Akure, that's from here. And we now have the other leg going to Ekiti to power Ekiti. So the problem of Ekiti, epileptic power supply in Ekiti will be addressed. And the one of Akure, that's on those states, will be greatly improved.
There are other substations built across the country, in addition to the 22 substations constructed under the National Integrated Power Projects, NIPP. Now, to wrap up generation, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari completed the 40 megawatts Kashimbila Hydro Dam in Taraba State with construction of transmission line to link the hydro dam with Yandif and Takum substations, thereby boosting power supply in the southern part of Taraba State as well as parts of Benue State.
Power has improved tremendously, and I can tell you that, and we're working harder and harder to make it good. By the time the Kashimbila projects are done, it will spread to all this north central and part of the south-south, northern cross river state, Taraba state, and the whole of that area, Benue state will all be on the grid. We will have those things working. The government has pumped in a lot,
The 700 megawatt Zungero Hydro Dam in Niger State is another project that the Buhari administration sustains commitment to ensure its completion. So far, one unit generating 175 megawatts of electricity has been completed and inaugurated, with work on the remaining 3 turbines in progress. When completed, the Zungero hydroelectric plant will be the biggest hydro dam in the country.
Zungero is over 90% completion. We have 2 sites. One is the main power plant and the dam. Then we have a line to a switch yard where we call the triple point, where they do the switch yard, and it is that switch yard that we are trying to ensure is completed so that we will commission that project. We are looking at the concessioning. Yes, it's not something that we have not done before. If you look at similar projects, they have been concessioned. They are better managed by the private than the government managing an infrastructure like this. What do you call it? KNG is under concession, so why not? But our own concern now is to complete the project.
This is in addition to Datenko Hydro Dam in Gombe State, already completed. While the administration is sustaining investment to increase generation capacity, massive investment to upgrade and expand transmission infrastructure are ongoing to improve capacity of the networks to wheel power generated to the distribution companies. Under the transmission, rehabilitation and expansion program of the federal government, which the Transmission Company of Nigeria is implementing, more substations have been constructed with additional mobile transformers procured to boost supply and stabilize the grid.
Presently, the people in Bichi are fed on 33 kV transmission line, and we receive a lot of complaints from the people of this place, and we look at to find a way to resolve this issue. We say the best thing to do, which is most quicker, is to bring a mobile substation, which we did. As you can see, our people, engineers in Kano, are the ones that did this construction. There is no contractor involved in this project. We just brought the mobile transformer, and our engineers did all the installations and the civil work. Now, with this, we have two feeders. One is going to supply the town, and the other one, the water works.
The federal government's Siemens deal, which is being implemented under the Presidential Power Initiative, is another step by the Buhari administration to realign and upgrade the transmission infrastructure, as well as increase power generation and distribution to 25,000 megawatts by the year 2025. The first phase of the program, which covers the engineering process, is in progress, with new mobile substations and transformers to be delivered in 2022.
We have contracted Siemens to produce and deliver 10 power transformers. They are massive ones, 10 of them, plus 10 mobile substations. This is a substation. Mobile is on wheel. You drive it to wherever you are doing construction, and you transfer the electricity to this one, and nobody will notice. You will finish doing the construction and remove and connect back on the new in situ that you have provided.
The Siemens agreement will boost capacity in terms of generation, in terms of resolving the issues of the bottlenecks in the distribution interface. Now, if the generation interface has been addressed, if generation has been improved, and then also transmission network. Transmission network has also been improved and made to evacuate power. Right now, we are having an installed capacity of 12,000 megawatts. Transmission is now saying that they have the capacity, all right, to evacuate 7,000 megawatts. But what is effectively being evacuated by transmission is 5,000 megawatts.
While investments to increase capacity of the national grid and stabilize it are yielding results, the Buhari administration is also reaching out to underserved and unserved rural communities with off-grid and mini-grid solutions to give them access to electricity supply. The 5 million solar home systems is another federal government initiative to connect 25 million homes with solar power systems.
We have been enjoying this light. Since that time, we have not had issue of light break. We have 24-hour lights that have been serving 100 households in this community.
Renewable energy is actually a welcome development, and Nigeria has taken advantage of support from multilateral agencies, from the World Bank, from the African Development Bank, from the USAID and other developmental agencies to make sure that our people have access to this.
Other renewable energy solutions impacting communities and institutions introduced by the present administration are energizing education to power universities, energizing economies, which many markets in parts of the country have benefited, as well as energizing health, targeting primary healthcare centers in rural communities to provide them with solar power systems.
We work with a few partners, including the World Bank, where we are running the Nigerian electrification program, including the African Development Bank as well. Primarily, those programs have been designed to encourage private sector participation, to be able to have mini-grids and solar home systems within various communities. Because if you look at the energy gap in the country, and the amount of Nigerians that don't have power. Some figures are talking about over 80 million Nigerians. What you realize is that concentrating solely on government funds, will not allow us to fill that gap. So this is why we put out those programs to encourage private sector participation.
The National Mass Metering Program to roll out 6 million meters to electricity customers free by the federal government is another game changer to end estimated billing and address challenge of revenue losses. So far, 1 million meters have been distributed to electricity end users under Phase 0 of the scheme, with 4 million meters to be rolled out in the first phase.
These meters are free. We say it number of times that these meters are supposed to, these are the tools that will generate liquidity. How can we be selling something that will bring in the money? It is the responsibility of the discourse, and the government is seeing that they are not doing it. And it is what they will do, we get the money, government get the money and improve the sector. So government is stepping in, giving them the meters.
Some of the meters that have been acquired recently are being applied towards replacing defective meters that are in the system. And there are also new connections that have been made. This 6 million unmetered is a moving target. As you install more meters, some are going bad, some new connections, and so on.
It's been 7 years of investments across the value chain of the power sector, with expected gains on the economy and a stronger determination by the Buhari administration to improve power supply nationwide. Is Nigeria where it should be in the journey of lightening up the nation? The answer, many will not hesitate to state in the negative. However, though the administration is in the twilight of its lifespan, hope still lingers in achieving its promise to the people.
What we can see very clearly in the power sector is a deliberate effort by all stakeholders, starting with the policy providers, which is the federal government of this country, and then the agencies of the federal government, which is NEC and NBET and others, and then the sectorial players themselves, which is the GENCOs, the transmission, and then the DISCOs, everybody taking deliberate step to execute its own part of the entire project. Because the interesting thing about the power sector is that it's a closely knitted value chain that you cannot run one without the other. You cannot develop one without a conscious effort made at developing the other.
This government has put in a lot of infrastructure and facilities and funds to jumpstart the electric, power generation sector and power distribution. We have introduced a lot of projects. Government has pumped so much money into generation, distribution, and transmission of power. You will agree with me that power has improved lately in the country.
A goal well spent out in a number of power projects still in contractors' list that must be completed before handing over to the next administration in 2023. For now, Energizing the Nation remains a deliberate plan, one that must be finished well and strong.